said, my name is Erika Barraza, and I am the founder and CEO of EVRealities, which is a marketplace, a secure marketplace for sourcing virtual and augmented reality content. You know, what Getty Images, Reuters, AP, Kodak, and several others did really well over the last couple of years, 100 years or so, Kodak more recently, is democratize access to visual content, photography. They made it fully accessible and provided subscriptions for people to be able to augment the kind of stories and pieces of content that they put into their newspapers and build news and other reports around them. However, with the ever-changing appetite and constant need for satiating visual content happening on the internet now, more and more these organizations, news groups, digital publishers, and others are pulling from user-generated content, which moves faster speed of pace and runs the risk of finding fraudulent content as well. So we created EVRealities, which helps democratize access to building, sourcing, and publishing virtual and augmented reality content. Now, we believe in a future where we are rapidly losing our flat screen displays. You can now find augmented reality and virtual reality content in storefronts. You can find it all over digital media. You find it in location-based experiences, VR arcades, and we're rapidly running toward immersive media. In order to keep up with that, and as well as our consistent search and appetite for visual content, we've created a marketplace that really simplifies how you discover virtual reality content, how you purchase it, and your ability to publish it with confidence that it is authenticated and that you can easily and simply manage the licenses and rights to all of that. Just to give you some example of our appetite for consumption of media content, in the United States alone, we're consuming, as just an adult population, 368 billion plus hours of digital content. That's the United States alone, and that does not include teenagers. So this is actually quite conservative in terms of the amount of visual and digital content that we need to satiate. And to bring it down to an addressable market, the virtual reality industry itself is projected to grow over 1,000% in the next 2 to 3 years. Obviously, this is a new market that we're generating. There's a high demand. A majority of this cost is going to a lot of hardware developers who are working on location-based experiences, that are working on hardware, headsets, and other displays. But every device is going to require extensive amount of content to keep users engaged. And that's the problem. Most digital news and media publishers cannot keep up with the amount of content that's being requested. There's a risk of fraud, of pulling from user-generated content. And what they really require is a reliable, steady source of high volume of content that can be delivered and curated specifically to their needs, similar to what Associated Press, Reuters, and Getty were able to do before, however, have not been able to evolve into the marketplace that we're looking into now. So our solution breaks down into 3 component parts. We're developing a global network of virtual and augmented reality creators who can upload their content onto a blockchain that secures the licensing and rights management of each piece of content. They name their price, we help them with pricing guidelines, and once it's up there, any digital publisher who's filled out their subscription profile gets curated content delivered directly to them, very similar to what they're used to with a newswire service. So we plug in directly. From there, they can pull it down off of the network, they can editorialize it, put their text, their content, put a voiceover from their own newscasters on top of it, and publish it directly onto whatever medium that they've chosen, whether it's a web app, if it's a digital app for the phones, if they're building something out on the Vive, Oculus, etc. They can publish quickly and with time and relevancy to a news story. We're helping them build daily VR and AR content strategy. So EVRealities does have some similar competition with Blend Media and Veer. Blend now has a partnership with Facebook, who's looking for a direct media channel. Ourselves, however, we've positioned ourselves at the top of the funnel in this VR content creation process. So anybody who's interested in starting off with a VR content piece that says, I don't know where to start, I need some help with a story, or I'm working on something and I need a little bit of additional footage because I just can't send my team down to Antarctica to report on climate change, we've got that content on our marketplace. And they can come to us first. Several others are doing other component parts, but we're focused on that discovery and curation component, the licensing and rights management, and the global payment system that are all possible with the blockchain technologies that we're plugging into. Our go-to-market strategy is relatively simple to begin and quite traditional. We're taking a revenue share per piece of content that's sold, and we're also providing monthly and annual subscriptions to our members so that they can receive curated content. We've already begun conversations with a handful of news and digital publishers and are looking to launch our prototype for our marketplace with these subscribers and a couple others that we're looking to bring into a closed beta by February. Our milestones. So we've got quite a lot of work to do, but as you saw we're positioning ourselves to be ready for that 2020, 2021 boom. We'll have a fully built out repository of content. We're looking to build that trust network and become the reliable source for others to come to EVRealities first for that top of the funnel content. We came to the SAM Preccelerator as a business concept, and in 6 months we now have over 50 creators contributing onto our platform. We have an MVP of that creator dashboard. As I said, in February we'll be opening up, we'll be running our closed beta and opening up to a handful of selected digital publishers. So we'll have that marketplace prototype ready to go. And by May we're looking to open it up into an open beta where others can sign up and still use and operate it on a regular basis. Our team. So myself, I have worked with leading innovation teams for over 30 different enterprise and big global nonprofits, groups such as Bayer and BD and Hershey's and Lowe's, as well as the United Nations, 17 organizations in the United Nations, Amnesty International, and several others, and helping them guide the innovation process, how you integrate these technologies and implement them for system optimization. Chris Daniel is a full-stack developer with over 20 years experience and recently graduated from Upload VR's master class in Unity development and has been a web developer for over 20 years, is fully versed and specialized in 360 video content marketplaces. Fabian wrote the book, literally, on making 360. It is the only textbook that is in existence right now about how to make 360 videos, and he's helping us with our experiential design and storyboarding, and also does our React and WebVR development, as well as Jen Kong, who has joined on as a UX UI researcher, which is critical for developing in these early days of virtual and augmented reality experiences. So we invite you to join us. In Q1, we are now kicking off our pre-seed seed investment round, starting off with our first tranche of about $250,000 to get us going. We have a few needs that we're looking at in order to really be able to build out our contributor network to build up that stock of virtual and augmented reality content, primarily with expanding our servers, pushing out these publisher pilots, and working our way toward the open beta. So if anyone has any questions, I welcome them. Thank you.